What's going on, everybody? C4 here, and welcome back to the newest and special final episode of the Realistic Rebuilds here in Madden 19. And I felt like, what better team to give the Realistic Rebuild treatment to our first true love in Madden 19, and that is the Toronto Huskies. We are going to be doing your traditional 5-year rebuild. We're starting from where we left off with the franchise that went, how many episodes? 40, 50 some episodes, where we won Super Bowl 54, 17-0 over the New Orleans Saints. And, that's pretty much the mantra of our channel is once we do a franchise mode, we win the Super Bowl, we move on. We move on because we're not going to make a dynasty. We're not going to peak. We want a challenge. So I figure, it's a perfect opportunity because I love this team. This is my favorite franchise mode I've ever done. And, a lot of people out there enjoyed it. So I figured, why not? Let's revisit. Let's go back to this team and take them for 5 more years in the rebuild format. So for those of you guys that need a refresher as to where our defending Super Bowl champions roster was at the quarterback spot, we had our franchise player here in Tua Tagovailoa, 88 overall with that star dev. We had Savage God here as the backup. Jalen Hurts as well. At running back, we had the legendary PL Mullins. And I'll tell you right now, there's a rumor going around that there might be a career mode option in Madden 20. You already know. Y'all already know. We have Corey Clement here as well as our backup. Nice little running back to head him. Jordan Mailata, the great freak athlete from the Philadelphia Eagles. They got drafted, never playing college ever. We moved him from tackle to fullback, and he's been one of the better fullbacks in football. I think he actually made the Pro Bowl this year. Did he make the Pro Bowl? Yeah, look, he made the Pro Bowl. He's a Pro Bowl fullback. Wide receiver, we have Chris Godwin, who is an 85 star dev wide receiver to go with Zay Jones, 26-82 with the confidence booth, quick dev. Outside of that, though, we definitely could build up our wide receiver core. Demarcus Robinson was solid. Jakeem Grant actually was really, really nice for us, but at 28, probably isn't going to develop much more. At tight end, we have the best tight end in football here in Philly Goedert, 87 overall star dev. Of course, because we had to make his name officially Philly, we lost his face scan, which kind of sucks, but really, really good tight end. Probably not got to worry a whole lot there, but we will have to give him a new contract sooner than later. Offensive line was not very good at all. When you look at our offensive line, really, we have Bobby Evans here, who's a 75 star dev tackle, who actually didn't really play particularly well, but he's probably the only guy that could be considered a long-term option here. I think Durham Gray might have a quick dev. I mean, there might be a chance to develop him, but ultimately, offensive line is definitely for the rebuild our top priority. On the defensive line, we got some good production. Anthony Nelson as a rookie was insane for us. Let's see what we got here. As a rookie, he made the Pro Bowl, and he was the Defensive Rookie of the Year. Unfortunately, we didn't get the dev trait increase, but he's definitely a player that we're going to try to build this defensive round, at least on the defensive line. In the interior, Nick Coe was a big draft pick a year ago as a rookie, 79 star dev D tackle out of Auburn. He's good. That's him. We got Leon Jacobs, who we just actually re-signed, 78 quick outside linebacker. He should develop nicely. We get Tremaine Edmonds, 86 with that quick dev. He's going to be very, very good. Jared Davis, 85 overall at age 25. So, our linebacking core is pretty much set. In our secondary, again, very well developed. We got Trey White and Greedy Williams, who should be our lockdown corners for the foreseeable future. The secondary, we got Jordan Poyer here and TJ Green. TJ Green actually was our money backer. So even though it looks like we do have a lot of money and 2 good free safeties, they both see the field quite a bit. Mike Hilton at strong safety, 87 overall with a normal dev, but he's really good. 27 though is a little bit of an awkward age for a 5-year rebuild. You might need to think about long-term getting a new strong safety. And then special teams, we have Adam Vinatieri's, I believe it's his nephew in Chase Vinatieri, who's really good. And Vogel is a one-time punter of the year from our team. So very excited to get into the rebuild here of the Toronto Huskies and give them the send-off that they deserve. So we're going to jump away. Not usually we do the first year, but because we're jumping from the Super Bowl, let's get into the offseason. So as we enter our first free agency period, there's only one target that we've kind of identified as could be an immediate upgrade to our team. We have a whole lot of salary cap, which is good. But we identified Jonathan Allen, the defensive end from the Washington Redskins, former first-round pick out of Alabama. We're going to actually get him and slide him inside to play defensive tackle with Nick Coe if we can land him. So after landing Mr. Jonathan Allen in free agency, here's how our draft went. And to pair with Tua Tagovailoa, maybe he had a little bit of influence over this. With the final pick in the first round, we selected Jalen Waddle, the wide receiver from Alabama, 76, quick dev, brings great speed, 92 catch, 93 acceleration, good catching. Will probably be our starting slot wide receiver this upcoming season. Then a very good pick here in the second round. We need to get better on the offensive line, so we selected Creed Humphrey, the center from Oklahoma, 74, star dev center. Huge get for an offensive line that needs to get better. And I know Lincoln Riley has gone on record saying Creed Humphrey is the best offensive lineman he's had since he's been at Oklahoma, so that is very high praise. Then with our second round pick, we got Wyatt Davis, 71, even though he should be 73, already with a confidence hit. I don't know why. You just got drafted by the Super Bowl champs from Ohio State. We'll have a chance to compete right away. We got Asante Samuel's son, Asante Samuel Jr. out of Florida State. Kind of drafted him maybe on name value, not the best of players. And then we just got the fastest available player here in the 6th round in Jerron Morris. We traded a bunch of our picks for future picks, to maybe take a little bit of advantage over those randomly Madden-generated players. That being said, let's get into year 1 of the Huskies rebuild. So as we enter year number 1 of the rebuild, trying to defend our Super Bowl championship, our team is looking really, really solid. 82 overall, 81 offense, 87 defense. In terms of new faces, we got Wyatt Davis and Creed Humphrey coming in from the draft. Waddle as well as our slot wide receiver from the draft. But other than that, our offense pretty much maintains a lot of cohesion, a lot of chemistry. Not a lot of moving pieces. On the defense, really the only big moving piece is Jonathan Allen now slotting in at defensive tackle. Debating keeping him at defensive end and then having Covington and Co as our D tackles. But for our scheme, John Allen is much more a D tackle. So we're going to rock and roll with that. Other than that, again, man, no big time changes. If this is the team that brought us to the Super Bowl, let's roll with them again and begin the Toronto Huskies dynasty. Halfway point of year number 1, 5-2, picking right up where we left. I've been looking kind of at the results. 3 of the last 4 weeks, Tua has been the offensive player of the week with 5, 5, and 6 touchdowns. So, we'll look like we might have an MVP candidate on our hands. But we're well in the lead right now for the AFC East at the halfway point. But now it's time to talk about some contracts. We do have a godly amount of salary cap because of the Canada bill, for those of you that remember what it is. So that means we should be able to re-sign pretty much any player that we want, at least this season. So first up is Philly Goedert. Next up is Mike Hilton, $21 million for an 88 safety. That's 27 is good. Trent Edmonds is our franchise linebacker, so that'd be nice to get him. We'll have to renegotiate there in just a little bit. There are some depth here at D-tackle. Obviously, that quick dev tier 8 on Harrison Phillips is nice, but with bringing in John Allen, we kind of have the luxury of being able to be a little bit flexible when it comes to that. We have Vogel here, is one of the better punters in the league. That's just a lot of money to put towards a punter. To be completely honest with you, as far as I can tell from all the sims that we've done, special teams does not mean anything. Definitely not the punters. So we'll definitely come back to the table with Tremaine Edmonds and try to work out a long-term deal. Other than that, we're going to hope for a big free agency period. And at the end of year number 1, we got that first round bye, baby. 11-5, winning ourselves the AFC East. Looking at some upgrades here, just some players that had some great years. We already got 5 points for Tua Tagovailoa, who, as you can see, spoiler alert, passer rating leader, QB of the year, offensive player of the year, MVP. Got himself that superstar dev trait. PL Mullins, you know what it is. Made his second Pro Bowl, didn't get the dev trait, which is kind of annoying. Jordan Mailata made his second Pro Bowl, didn't get a dev trait, kind of annoying. Jalen Waddle, our first round pick, made himself the Pro Bowl and got a star dev increase, which is pretty goddamn dope. But look at the stats here. Let's see what Tua did to win himself the MVP award. Oh, and he just, dropped 4,500 passing yards on your ass. 44 touchdowns to 9 picks. Why is Ben Roethlisberger on my team? I don't know why that is. I have everything turned off. I wanted one quarterback on my roster, and just like that, they bring in Ben Roethlisberger without asking me. Hey. Running the ball, PL Mullins, 1,100 yards, 9 tutties. That's good. No 1,000-yard receivers. Very close, 1 yard off for Jalen Waddle. That's a really good year out of the slot. You could see the Alabama connection. Just didn't miss a beat. Philly Goedert, nice year. A little low in the tutties. Godwin and Zay Jones was nice. Just good, well-rounded wide receiving core. Tremaine Edmonds on the team with 123 tackles, 5 TFLs, 3 sacks, 2 picks. Just made a bunch of plays everywhere. Nick Coe, 5.5 sacks. Sacks are definitely down. You can say that for sure. Definitely down on the sacks. Interceptions, though, we're good. 4 picks. Mike Hilton, 4 TJ Green, who was our money backer. 3 for Greedy. I mean, the best secondary. You guys remember the Huskies. We got so many interceptions. Look at the yearly awards. MVP went to Tua Tagovailoa, beating out Drew Lock. That is going to be a big-time rivalry. We already know what happened between Drew Lock's mom and PL Mullins. There's a throwback to the old franchise mode. Did we get Coach of the Year? Well, we didn't. Runner-up and Coach of the Year, Mr. McDermott. Offensive Player of the Year went to Tua Tagovailoa, with PL Mullins coming in at number 9. Defensive Player of the Year went to Troy Dye, with Tremaine Edmonds coming in at number 4. Offensive Rookie of the Year went to Trevor Lawrence, beating out Jalen Waddle. Defensive Rookie of the Year went to Jaden Woodbay. And it looks like we had nobody. But still, got that first round bye. That's all that really matters at this juncture of all junctures as we move on to the division round to find out who we're going to be facing as we try to repeat as Super Bowl champions. And that is hosting the 10-6 Jacksonville Jaguars. Anytime you get to play a Florida team up here in the January weather of Canada, advantage Canada. Here we go, and just like that, perfect conditions, snowy in Canada, so advantage for the Huskies, you would at least assume. But the Jags have a very good roster. They were a 90 overall team base. Our team's still an 86. We're still technically a work in progress, even though we have the MVP who is getting 0 points. Oh! This game sucks. This game sucks. The weather's to our advantage. We have the MVP quarterback, and he gets 0 points in the first half. Now, we're closing it up here a little bit, making it look a little more competitive, but... Oh! Oh, shit! How did that happen? We literally won that one. Holy... Whoa! There's that MVP. What happened here? Look at that. No time left. 23-yard touchdown from Tua to Jalen Waddle. The Alabama connection lives on, as in miraculous. The first time the Madden sim has ever made me feel good about anything. And we're moving on to the AFC Championship game to play the winner of the Broncos and the Browns. What God. Thank you, Sim, for making up for whatever that first half was. All right, before I had to show this. Usually we don't show this part, but before we get into the AFC Conference Championship game, just look at the record of the Cleveland Browns and know what we're probably getting ourselves into. The Browns are 7-8-1, a below 500 team in the AFC Championship game. We're gonna lose by 40. All right, another home game, not snow, so that's all right. I mean, playing a team from Cleveland, snow's not that big of an advantage, but coming off all that momentum that we're able to gain in that just come from behind victory over the Jags. It's gonna be very disappointing to lose this game, but at the very least, it's a little competitive because we do know that the Browns are 7-8-1, and we do know that's almost as overpowered as the Chargers are in the sim. So we're 17-17 at halftime. I've seen worse. We're down a tutty now. Browns are starting to pull a little bit ahead. Need our defense to get a stand here, trying to stop Baker Mayfield. Okay, 3-point game. 3-point game. They just had a red zone turnover. So just like that, we're able to take a 4-point lead. We're trading touchdowns, and your defense stand up big. Okay, 4-point lead, 2:24 remaining. Defense needs to make a stand. They're going for it on 4th down. It is a turnover on downs. The Huskies have the ball with 1:43 to close out the game. We kick a field goal. You know what this almost means every time is that we kick the field goal. They're going to go down at 1:08, score a touchdown. Actually, no. I do want to just buck the trend of annoying things that happen in the sim, but let's just take it. Oh, automatic touchdown, actually. Okay, they kicked the field goal, 5:29 in overtime. We had the clutch drive against the Jags. Do we get it this day? Do we get it on this day, at this time? Can we be stopped? Or we're going to kick the field goal and lose it here because they're going to go down the field and get the... It's the sim. It's the sim. It's the sim. So looking at free agency as we get into the second season, Isaiah Wynn, 86 quick dev tackle would be our top priority. Bring in Vogelback on a little bit of a flyer deal. And then Marcus Davenport to try to come in and be our starting left defensive end. We'd have to flip sides, but he's an 81 quick dev D-end. Very talented with still lots of upside. All right, so here's our draft short list here. 3 big-time players I want to look at. First, Kevin Landault, all Bs across the board. Pretty good combine grade at middle linebacker. We'll just give He's 253. We can flex him around. Shaquille Tucker looks incredible for the 4th round, so I'm thinking we're going to have to use a 2nd to get Landolt, a 3rd to get Tucker. But this is the first running back I've ever seen that I can recall that had 3 A's. Now, this is not a shot at Mr. M.H. Mullins, but M.H. Mullins is our undisputed starter, but I think we could maybe do better and get a little bit cheaper than Corey Clement as our RB2. And the fact that there's 3 A's, Nate, and his last name's Walrus, Nate Walrus, Taking a look at our draft recap to try and just avoid ourselves of the cheese. We got Walrus here in the 1st round. Obviously phenomenal, just awesome. 2nd round here, we got Shaquille Tucker, that offensive lineman we projected, 76 star dev, so that's awesome. We get to start right away. Plus with that size at 6'6", 337, that brings us some versatility. You can play pretty much anywhere we want him to play. We got a 75 tackle, 73 center, 72 linebacker, 70 safety, and then traded a bunch of our picks for future picks. So that is, from top to bottom, an incredible draft here for the Toronto Huskies. Year number 2 of the rebuild, and our team is just a little bit better than what they were last year. 87 overall, 89 offense, 89 defense, very well balanced. Changes on the offense, we got Deloach and Tucker, 2 offensive line that we drafted starting right away, which is, hey, we'll take it every day of the year. Youth, just promote the youth. And once this offensive line does develop, as we got good dev traits on everyone except Deloach, it's going to make this team that much better. The fact that we're still pulling an 89 offense, though, with 3 C pluses and 2 B minuses, no offensive lineman above an 80, that is really good. Dallas Goedert's a 91, Philly Goedert, sorry. We got Tua Tagovailoa, 96, very close to getting his gold cleats. PL Mullins on that fringe 90. We're actually going to make Walrus here, our backup running back. We're going all out power. Godwin and Waddle there making up the rest of the team. We brought in Davenport via free agency. And, I'm liking the way this team is starting to shape up here. Now, we have a change in the guard between Poyer and TJ Green. What I think we're going to do, though, is make Poyer our starting free safety still, so that TJ Green, hey, where'd he go? Well, okay, I guess we're going to make TJ Green our starter for simplicity's sake. But, let's go on another deep playoff run. Midway point of year number 2, and we are 5-2. We're gonna, we're pretty much always gonna be very, very dominant by the help of Mr. Tua Tagovailoa. But only 1 game ahead of here, the Dolphins, Mr. Drew Lock and Dolphins here in the AFC East. But we are coming off a big Week 8 victory over said Dolphins. Looking at contracts, who's getting paid? Well, first up, we got Greedy Williams, who is a greedy man when it comes to his contract, apparently. But we'll make sure we can hammer out a deal with him. Obviously, Bobby Evans with that very nice dev trait. We want to try to keep him on the offensive line. Why are all these guys trying to bend me over? Huh? Why are you trying to bend me over? I gave you a shot in the National Football League. So we'll come back for Bobby Evans and Greedy Williams to hammer out some deals. So at the end of year number 2, made the playoffs. Not a, tremendous record at 10-6, but we still made the playoffs, still get an opportunity at the dance, and won the AFC East yet again. Let's quickly upgrade some of our players here. Mailata got 2. Did he get another pro? Oh, just another. I think right now, Madden just says whatever the highest overall player is going to make the Pro Bowl. We got the Pro Bowl here, I think, for Chase Vinatieri, kicker of the year. I think that's his 2nd time he's got that. Tua Tagovailoa. We'll do this right now because he has absolutely earned it, winning his MVP last year. 99 because he doesn't wear gloves. We're not going to just, force him to wear any gloves. But we will give him the gold cleats, which he so desperately deserves. And we'll give him the lows. We'll give him the low top. So kudos to him. We'll auto-spend the rest of this XP because most of these guys are scheme fits already. As our team is now a 90 overall, 93 offense, 91 defense. Taking a look here at the stats from year number 2. Tua, pretty much identical to what he did last year. 4,400 passing yards, round up to 45, 44 tutties, 15 interceptions. So the interceptions are up just a little bit. PL Mullins, another really, really solid year, 1,100 yards, 9 TDs. No 1,000-yard receivers because why not? We just spread the ball around. Tremaine Edmonds was a tackle machine, 129 tackles, 9 TFLs, 2 sacks. Davenport, he bought in via free agency, 12 TFLs, 6.5 sacks. We'll take that. In the secondary, still a bunch of turnovers. Really good secondary play here. MVP went to Zeke, beating out Tua. I think that's probably bullshit, but it is what it is. In the AFC Offensive Player of the Year went to Drew Lock, beating out Tua. Why is everyone sleeping on Tua now? He was a Player of the Year, went to Ryan Shazier. Tremaine Edmonds coming in at number 6. Offensive Rookie of the Year. Walrus coming in at number 7. Shout out to Walrus. So that being said, let's get into the playoffs here in year number 2 against the 9-7 Tennessee Titans. All right, it's a snow game. Pretty much what happens when we play playoff games in Toronto more often than not, so we can use that to our advantage. Don't think there's a lot of snow going down in Tennessee. Don't think Marcus Mariota has seen much snow in his lifetime. I don't know if he's ever seen snow, period. So we'll take that. Up 21, looking like we're handling them pretty convincingly right now. Our defense is playing well, as expected. And I'm actually just trying to wrap my head around the fact that we have a 90 offense, but everyone on our offensive line is like in the high 70s. But then again, we did that Saquon Barkley experiment video way back in the early days of Madden 19. That pretty much proved in the sim offensive line doesn't really matter a whole lot, as we flex on the Tennessee Titans at home and beat them 41-9. 313 yards, 2 touchdowns from Tua. Marcus Mariota shut out. PL Mullins 150 rushing yards, as the Toronto Huskies are moving on to the AFC Divisional Round. Into the Divisional Round, taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers, having to go to Heinz Field. A little bit worried because it looks like Deshaun Watson's their quarterback. So Deshaun Watson, Le'Veon Bell. I know Antonio Brown hit free agency, so but it's still Deshaun Watson and Le'Veon Bell in a backfield, which is pretty goddamn terrifying to think about. Especially more so Deshaun Watson's actually behind a good offensive line there in Pittsburgh. Looking at a pretty ugly game right now. 9-point lead for the Pittsburgh Steelers into the second half. Make that a 6-point lead. As both defenses are playing pretty well at this given juncture. I would like to see Tua take over, flex at MVP caliber, and get us a 1-point lead here, which he did. Kudos to him. Trying to hold on to that 1-point lead. It's all on our defense. They give it up, which is annoying. On 4th down with 11 seconds remaining, 4th and 3. You know I'm going to come in. I'm going to come in for one play here. We'll just go something simple. 4 verts. Who do we got? We got 4 verts, Philly Goedert. That's probably what we're going to try to do if our offensive line can hold up. We'll make sure PL Mullins goes into pass protection. We're going to drop back with the lefty. Who wants it? Literally no one's open. That was terrible. No one got open. Coverage sack. We might have had X at the top. That was maybe my fault locking into Dallas Goedert. But there we go. As we crash and burn yet again. And there's our 98 overall quarterback doing nothing in the playoffs. Awesome. So as we get ready for year number 3 in free agency, we didn't spend because we're going to have that big, massive Tua contract coming sooner than later. Looking at our draft here, I only picked for the first couple rounds because the rest of the draft was pretty garbage. So we did have a lot of picks, got some depth. But my last pick was actually this guy, Rashawn Trullick, 72 overall, normal dev. What do we get here? 72 normal, 72 normal, 71 normal. Ugh. Not a great draft. This draft class looked really, really weak. Hey, that's not bad. 71 star dev tight end Brian Huey. Okay. Doesn't worry about it. In the first 2 rounds, we got Christian Ladera, still trying to find another linebacker. This guy here was all 3 B pluses for his skills, all right at the combine, so kind of surprised he's only a 74 normal. Got bamboozled there a little bit, but Travis McFadden at wide receiver, he was a 77 normal, 6'1", 223, bringing in 92 short route running, so, just in case, because Zay Jones might be the first of our wide receivers to start to slow down in terms of development. So a little bit of forward thinking there, but just an average draft class, just an average offseason, to be completely honest with you, as we go into year number 3. Year 3 after 2 straight kind of disappointing ends in the playoffs. Here is how our team shapes up. 93-93, 92 overall. We got the 99 Tua Tagovailoa, PL Mullins, 91 overall. Godwin's into the 90s. Goddard's 92. I fully expect maybe Jalen Waddle will get into the 90s at some point this season. Defensively, we're very good defensively, very well-rounded. Trey White and Greedy Williams, 94 and 93, the best corner tandem in the National Football League. We got Hilton's an 88. Edmonds is a 90. TJ Green's an 87. Poyer still holding on. This might be his last year. The last year we have Rachel Bush walking around the facilities. Maybe that's the only reason why he still has a job, but, let's see if we can make this year special so she can clap some cheeks, clap them cheeks, baby. Everybody, year number 3, we're 3-4, so starting to show a little bit of stagnancy. Maybe that's a reflection of the just not positive offseason that we had, but we're still only 1 game back in the AFC East, so no time to panic. But here's why we didn't spend any money in free agency. Tua Tagovailoa is going to be very expensive. We didn't want to pay him. So, oh, my God, he needs more money than $207 million. He's not going to bet us over PL Mullins. He's just happy he got a warm place to sleep, We got Chris Godwin here, another 90 wide receiver. He's going to take a little bit of cash. He wants more money. Of course he does. Jordan Mailata, the best fullback in the league. We'll make sure we bring him back. Chase Vinatieri, the best kicker in the league. We'll make sure we bring him back. Oh, he wants more money. What an asshole. TJ Green, come on. Come on! We got to start getting some of these guys, man. We don't have a whole lot of salary cap. Look at all these. We're getting turned down by every one of our players. Thank you, Mr. Nelson. Thank you, Mr. Jonathan Allen. Come on, Zay. Oh, that's oof. Okay, that's a little bit too much for Zay Jones. That's where we're gonna stop. We're gonna come back for Tua, for Chris Godwin, Chase Vinatieri, TJ Green, and Nick Coe to work out some long-term deals. End of year 3, make the playoffs again. Might not be the ugliest girl, might not be the prettiest girl, but we're here at 10-6. Hey, want another AFC East? Shout out to that being just automatic. Shout out to there just being a guy named Ted Phillips. That's clearly the Hallis woman, but my God, her name's Ted Phillips. That's great. So anyway, Tua Tagovailoa, 4,700 yards, 34 touchdowns to 10 picks. Not bad. Another really just solid year, consistent year. That's pretty much like, the peak, I guess you could say, for Mr. PL Mullins. Now we're starting to get a little bit more production of the wideouts. 93 catches, almost 1,000 yards, 4 touchdowns from Philly Goedert, 1,100 yards, 8 TDs from Chris Godwin, who told me to F myself with the contract. He wants to go to free agency along with Chase Vinatieri, the kicker. Assholes. 1,000 yards here, 10 touchdowns for Zay Jones. Of course, he has his biggest year when we're not re-signing him. 127 tackles from Tremaine Edmonds, 7 TFLs, 2 picks. For whatever reason, sacks are non-existent for this team, and interceptions were down a little bit, but we still made the playoffs. Guess that's all that matters. MVP went to Ezekiel Elliott, with Tua coming in at number 4. Offensive player of the year went to Jarrett Stidham. Tua coming in at 3. Defense player of the year went to Rashawn Evans, with Tremaine Edmonds coming in at number 4. But 3 straight playoffs, man, could be worse. You just gotta get a ticket to the raffle, and maybe you can win. So here we go, hosting the Kansas City Chiefs. Alrighty, here we go. Our biggest down year so far, and we're still hosting a playoff game. So, let's go. Tua versus Mahomes. Who wants it more, baby? Who wants it more? I'm going to go on Tua Tagovailoa. That's where I'm putting my money. As we're down 1 here in the second quarter. Our defense is playing pretty well. Get the go-ahead touchdown. Looks like Kansas City's going to get a 1-point lead as we enter the second half, which they do. I'm not gonna lie, we're getting too many field goals here. The kicker that doesn't want anything to do with the team is getting a little too involved for my liking. I like these to be touchdowns. There we go, nice little touchdown there. This game is just high scoring, no defense. You would look at this scoreline and say, oh my God, hey C4, how about you develop your defense? And I sit there telling you, we have a 93 overall defense, not gonna get a whole lot better than that. We drop a 50 bomb, almost 100 total points scored, as Tua Tagovailoa is 500 yards. 4 touchdowns, outduels Patrick Mahomes as they move on to the AFC Divisional Round. All right, a little bit of a rematch here in the Divisional Round, taking on the Cleveland Browns. They were able to knock us off last year. So let's bring the goddamn pain. Jumping out to a 10-0 lead here early in the first half. It's looking somewhat optimistic that we can make an AFC Championship run. Now we're trading a couple instant touchdowns back and forth. Does seem to be a whole lot of defense going on. Yet again, need to remind you that we're a 93 overall defense, and I would assume the Cleveland Browns pretty well defensively themselves with Myles Garrett, Jabril Peppers. Those guys are usually sim gods here in franchise mode. So looking like just defense is non-existent here in whatever year this is, 2024, 2023 of the National Football League. But we are scoring points at an alarming rate as we drop almost 40 on the Cleveland Browns. 5 touchdowns from Tua Tagovailoa, outdueling Baker Mayfield's 403 as we go to the AFC Championship game. Well, we're going to await the winner. Come on, ticker. Oh, no, not the Chargers. Please, anybody but the Chargers. All right, it's the Chargers. Not only the Chargers, they're a 9-win playoff team, Chargers, which, I mean, the only thing scary than that's an 8-win playoff team, Chargers. But 9 wins, we're going to have our work. We're going to need Tua to throw 4 or 5 touchdowns to have a chance in this one. I don't even need to know who's on the Chargers to know that they're going to be balling out of control. We saw that they have James Conner there at running back, so they got a nice little power back. All right, we're down 4 in the second half. Super Bowl on the line here. Looks like we are playing pretty well. We're just not getting the end product. We're moving the ball, but we're not scoring the big points. We're selling for field goals here. Come on! Punch it in. 2-point lead as we enter the fourth quarter. But look at there. The Chargers are making the most of their opportunities. We have settled for field goals 2 out of 3 drives in the red zone. It's not going to get the job done against a 9-win Charger team. But here we go. Down 4 in the red zone. 26 seconds to go. Third down. All right, 4th down and 11. Now, probably should let the sim just take control. But, occasionally we're going to play like garbage. And it's going to be a little bit more realistic. So we're not going to win all the time. But I feel pretty confident. We got Dallas Goedert there, 82 in the slot. We're going to have PL Mullins go there. I have no idea who 11 is. I assume that's Jalen Waddles. Okay, 4th and 6. Last time we came in on 4th down, it didn't work. This time here. Oh, come on! Come the fuck on! Year 4. All right, so in free agency, we want to try to bring back Chase Vinatieri clearly, and then why not complete the Alabama connection? We have Jalen Waddle, we have Tua Tagovailoa. Well, why not get the #1 target for Tua during his time with Alabama in Jerry Jeudy? We're pretty much pulling a Washington Redskins here and trying to get as many Alabama players, at least on the offensive side of the ball, which is kind of the inverse of the Redskins, but you know what I'm saying. We're just the Washington Redskins, except just a lot less racist. All right, so as we go to year 4, try to have a little bit better offseason. We didn't land Jerry Jeudy, so to compensate, I just used my first 3 picks on wide receivers because the wide receiver class looked, it was definitely the strength. The rest of the class was actually really bad looking. So we'll start from the second most impressive, which is DeMarcus Swearinger, 77 quick dev from Texas. But here we go. We get the next Calvin Johnson. Look at this guy. Marshawn Harrison, 6'4", 220 from Grand Valley State, of course. That is just pretty much wide receiver U. 80 star. So it's 6'4" with 93 speed, 94 accelerate. This is Calvin Johnson 2.0, ladies and gentlemen. So there we go. Hey, you know, who needs Jalen Waddle? We can get this freak. Year 4, trying to just, hey, go to the playoffs and just underperform, I guess. Not much has changed. You know, we bring in Harrison. Pretty much we'll call him Mini Megatron. Other than that, offense stays the same. Offensive line is developing pretty nicely. We know we had a couple C's. Now we're up into at least the B's. Defensively, we do have a little bit of a hole here at D tackle 2. There's only so much money you can throw around, especially when you give your quarterback like a $215 million contract. Maybe we could have a more free space if we had Poyer, but I just love having Rachel Bush around, so we're gonna have to hold on to him just for a little bit. But probably this offseason and next offseason, because we're going probably into a year 5 Super Bowl bust. Probably got to make some tough cuts to free up some cap space. But, you know, feeling really good. Once again, best team in the game. So let's hopefully come week 17, you know, our record reflects that. All right, so for contract extensions, Trey White, got him locked up. Jalen Wild, got him locked up. Creed Humphrey, got him locked up. Marcus Davenport hasn't really yielded the results we expected when we brought him in via free agency, so we're going to have to let him go. Poyer, unfortunately, see end of the road. The only player that we want to try to hammer a deal with will be Chris Godwin, who's been very, very difficult. We had a franchise tag him last year, which made, you know, pretty much give us no cash in free agency, and he still wants more money. So I'm starting to get very, very frustrated, and if we can't get him with one more bid, probably going to let him walk. Wash our hands clear of this just ugly black eye of a contract negotiation. At the end of year number 4, didn't make the playoffs. We finished with an 8-8, so we went 500 as a 95 overall team with a 99 offense and 93 defense. So you hate to see it. Quick look at the stats. Doesn't even matter. Quick look at the stats. Tua did not have a great year. Nice year from PL Mullins, 1,300 yards, 14 touchdowns. Philly Goedert went over 1,000 yards. Couple fringe 1,000-yard receivers here. Our wide receiver core is very nice. Defensively, Edmonds has been a tackle machine. Anthony Nelson finally getting a little bit more up there in sacks. Still not where we want it to be. Trey White, 5 picks, though. You know, pretty good secondary. Guys making plays. But god damn it, man. Year 4, why is it always weird? Like, this isn't even, like, technically year 4. We're doing it, like, 2-3 years later than we usually do for realistic rebuilds. But so for our final year in terms of contract negotiations, pretty easy. We don't have a lot of money, so we're going to look at bringing in Micah Parsons, the talented defensive end from Penn State, who will come in and be a starter right away, which leaves us holes at outside linebacker and D tackle to try to hopefully hit on someone in the draft. So after adding Micah Parsons, here is how our final draft went. We got our linebacker. There was no one on the defensive line worth drafting, which is frustrating because we needed realistically a D tackle. But we got our outside linebacker in Keelan Betts, 77 quick from Wake Forest. Good scheme fit, great athlete, good technical ability. We got 76 Jackson Farley, safety from Harvard. Very smart, highly educated, very high IQ, just very smart. The rest of the draft class was, you know, average, above average, slightly above average. But at least we got one starter. Could be worse. And we are finally here in the 5th and final year of the rebuild for the Toronto Huskies. We are about as good as it's going to get. 99 overall on offense, 91 on defense. And let's be honest, we've seen enough sim so far. Defense means nothing. 94 base, we got 2 at the 99. PL Mullins up to a 93. Wide receiver core looks pretty damn good. Offensive line has been just solid. Philly Goedert, best tight end in the league. 91 on defense. We still did not find a D tackle 2, but we did bring in Micah Parsons through free agency. Got a linebacker here in Betts that will start along with Wyatt Davis and Tremaine Edmonds to make a really nice, solid linebacking core. Our secondary still is the best secondary in football, and we're really going to need them to step it up, get a lot of turnovers if we have any chance at trying to win a Super Bowl with the Huskies in this rebuild. All right, so about as good as you could ask for a 5th and final year. We have an opportunity as we are going to be taking on the Jets, both 11-5 here in the playoffs. Our teams got a little bit better, finishing with a 95 overall, 99 offense, and 93 defense. Another AFC title. Guess we didn't get the bye. So, yeah, we're going to find out who the best team in the AFC is in the first round of the playoffs. Tua back to playing like an elite monster. 4,600 passing yards, 42 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. Very strong year from PL Mullins. He's like a fine wine. He's getting better with age. That is his best season, I think. Maybe outside of his rookie season. Let's just look at this. We might as well actually go back to Tua, too. Let's see what he's done in our career. Never lower than 1,000 yards. His most yards in his career. He's a monster, man. And looking at Tua. Just for a nice throwback here, because we have a little bit more of a relationship here with these players than we do in a regular rebuild. First year, all right, the year that we had him, a little ups and downs. Since then, my God, there's an MVP season in there. He's incredible. He's the best quarterback, I think, in football. From a receiving standpoint, Philly Goedert, 112 catches, over 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. Chris Godwin did very well, as did Megatron Jr. And that's also show a little respect to Philly Goedert, what he's done. So that was with the Eagles. Then we traded for him. Just my God, man, this guy here, just prolific, is not even a good enough description of him. Trey White somehow led our team in tackles. Anytime you're corner, I've never seen that before, but 121 tackles for Trey White, 4 TFLs, 4 picks. We got 7.5 sacks here from Dyron Douglas. Okay, sure. Trey White also led the team in picks. Man, Trey White might have won Defensive Player of the Year. MVP went to Jarrett Stidham, with Tua being the runner-up, getting robbed. PL Mullins showing up on the list at number 6. In the AFC Offensive Player of the Year went to Tua. Very nice. PL Mullins coming in at 4. Defensive Player of the Year went to Myles Garrett, with Trey White, I think, getting robbed, coming in at number 3. Tremaine Edmonds at number 8. So we got some good individual awards, but now it's time to do the damn thing and try and win ourselves a Super Bowl here with the Toronto Huskies. And it all starts in the wildcard round against the 11-5 Jets. All right, we got 3rd and 16 on our opening drive. Of course, it's the first game of the playoffs in Toronto, so it's for whatever reason every time we have this game, and it's snowing. But sure, and then we're just going to have Tua do what Tua does best, and that is connect with Alabama people from Alabama. It's like he's, their cousins. He drops the elbow. What a celebration. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's just, I'm pretty sure if we win another Super Bowl, it's not even bold to say Tua's the greatest quarterback in NFL history. Oh, let's go. That's the Mullins that I remember. Oh, let's go. Start celebrating. I love PL Mullins. I know you guys love PL Mullins, but you guys don't love PL Mullins like I love PL Mullins. He's an icon. Oh, there we go. We'll just take something like that. I don't know why my defense can't make a single stop right now, but, if you like offensive football, you got to be a fan of this game. As why does Dallas Goedert look like the Madden ratings guy? Oh, go, 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 and he gets it. I didn't think for oh, it's just that Bama connection, baby. You gotta be kidding me. Gotta be fucking kidding me, man. All right, ends the game. Thank God. I don't know what's going on in their defense. I'm pretty sure last we checked we had a 90-plus defense, and it looks like for us to win the Super Bowl, we're gonna just have to simply outscore the other teams. We had like 20 more minutes of in-game time, and we won by 5. This was a game that we had like almost 200 rushing yards for PL Mullins. Tua had a huge game. Not exactly sure, but we won. Hey, we're moving on to the AFC Division Round. 38-33 is the victory. Almost 400 yards passing, 4 tutties from Tua Tagovailoa. 172 yards on the ground for PL Mullins. 166 receiving yards for Jalen Waddle. On to the next one. Just because that last game was so frustrating, and we're just oddly enough playing the Browns, who've kind of been my nemesis, I'm simming this one. If we can get past this, I will play the rest of the games. But I feel like if my team wants to have, this is the team I've actually like built, wants to have another opportunity to win a second Super Bowl, they can get there on their own. They don't have to have me beat the big bad Browns with Baker Mayfield and Myles Garrett for them to do it. They're going to put themselves in a position to go to the Super Bowl, and they're looking pretty well so far here through 3 quarters. A nice lead for now, but we're slowing up, man. Our offense is stud. I don't know why. Our offense, our team in general, has been peaking, and then we do nothing in the 4th quarter. It's like there's too much trait business going on. Okay, we'll come in for the field goal. What is this? We have one of the best kickers. We have the glitched Tampa Bay Buccaneer pants. That's phenomenal. And then they're going to ice us. 50-some yarder. I'm gonna let the kicker do it. I'm going to let the kicker do it. And he nails it. Thank God he nails it. And we lost. So, again, man. On one hand, I like the nostalgia of kicking it back with my Toronto Huskies, but on the other, we literally saw in this rebuild the absolute worst that the Madden 19 Play the Moment sim, just a Madden 19 franchise sim in general, has to offer. Like, we had that epic victory against the Jags, and then everything else since then has been us getting cheese, us getting horde. Like, how come? I think if you were able to go back and average of our defense throughout this rebuild, we'll say for the last 3 years, the last 3 seasons have been 89, 90, something, like in the 90s. And if you look at all of our playoff games, we're giving up 30-plus points every single game, man. Why? What's the point of building a defense if it means nothing? And we've said this through countless other rebuilds. What's the point of building a defense? What's the point of building an offensive line if in reality it ends up amounting to meaning nothing in the sim? And I'm firmly convinced that you could have, right now our offense is a 99. You could have a 99 overall offense, and you could have, we're not going to go ridiculous. Guys, welcome to my thick clickbait video. Like, you probably couldn't have like a 30 overall defense, but I would surmise that if you were planning on doing like heavy simming, if you had a 99 overall offense, you could probably go to the Super Bowl and be competitive with a 70 overall defense. That's because it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. This is frustrating. I knew this game was going to be this cheesy. And again, this comes to a scenario. I always record these right around weekend time, and I don't want to ruin my weekend by getting super upset over a Madden game that, quite frankly, isn't good enough for me to get upset about. Now, would I have liked to win another Super Bowl with the Toronto Huskies? Yes. Am I going to do so at the risk of, hurting my mental health and making me just, bitchy all weekend? No. So unfortunately, the Madden Sim did not want us to win a Super Bowl with the Toronto Huskies, but I hope you guys did enjoy this. A little bit of a surprise realistic rebuild here. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to revisit some of the rebuilds that we failed. I probably will, because we still got 5 months till the new Madden comes out, so the more content, the better. So I guess I could say, with that being said, and understanding that, we have the Ultimate rebuilds coming soon, retro rebuilds, NCAA rebuilds, like there's going to be more than enough rebuild content, but if there's any rebuilds that we have failed or that you would like to see me try over again, let me know in the comment section below. We could very well maybe, curate a list of the top 3 teams that you guys want to see, and I might be able to do it for you. But that does it for me today, guys. And wow, look, I don't feel super upset as if I was actually playing this game and we still lost. So I feel good. My mental health is good. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. If you're first time stopping by, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. See ya.
Money I'm spending, I'm out and I'm shopping. You talking that shit, well you talking and talking. Look at my options, look at me dropping. Ass in the game, like who are you stopping? Not me, not me, not never. Not me, not me, not never. Not me, not me, not never. I'm waiting.